what do you think is important for the country?
I think, well,
Pick your top 2 issues. What are the top 2 issues for the country?
the top 2 issues for the country is
What do you want to see happen in the next 4 years?
getting rid of disinformation and also securing more hope in our system.
So disinformation is protected by the First Amendment. You would agree?
Yes. Disinformation when it comes to news outlets is what I'm mainly talking
So
about.
you and I both agree we should pull CNN's broadcasting license.
More like Fox News.
No, that's the point, is that all of a sudden CNN has a right to be able to do what they do. Fox
Well,
has a right
Fox News is actually currently, I think about a year ago, is going through a defamatory
do you think that
court case.
Do you think that it should be legal to have different opinions? Of course you do. So where
Illegal?
do you legal.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I'm mainly talking about news corporations or like news outlets and also big media figures who can spin sort of disinformation and that can swing the election. For example, like Elon Musk targeting people on his platform that are liberal and targeting or like pushing out.
Why should that be illegal?
Because he's trying to sway the election.
So he's a citizen. Should Taylor Swift not be able to speak about? She's swaying the election.
Well, no.
How is Taylor Swift and Elon Musk different? She's far more popular than Elon Musk.
Because Elon Musk on his platform is prohibiting information about Kamala Harris.
No, he's not.
So
Yes,
let me just say one thing. We're all against disinformation here, but let me just ask you 2 pieces of disinformation that we know are disinformation. Where did the pandemic begin?
In China.
In a lab?
No.
You don't think it began in a lab in China because that's not widely accepted that that's where it began. Yet if you
No.
said that in 2020, and I don't blame you, I blame the fact that we created disinformation in this country.
Yeah, you're a victim of disinformation.
Because it was created in a lab.
It was created in a lab in
Not
Wuhan.
in a bat cave. Yeah.
And I don't even blame you. I don't even
wasn't
blame
in
you
a bat
because the
cave.
government stopped you from being able to know that. So right now we're having a conversation where you believe that the pandemic did not begin, that COVID-19 did not begin in a lab in China, because guess what? That's exactly what our government required you to believe.
What
If
evidence
anybody
do
said
you
it
have
did,
that
they
was
required it to
created
be
in a lab?
censored.
What
Well,
evidence do you have that was created in a lab?
you have actually you now
It-
actually have
it's
the
a
genetics
lot.
of the virus to be able to go back to actually the lab that was manipulating a non-human virus. So it was never a naturally occurring virus. The only way that they now know based on the genes.
SARS is not a naturally occurring virus?
SARS-CoV-2.
SARS-CoV-2 is not.
It's current.
How?
Again,
It
this
spreads.
Is,
It was
this is-
designed to spread more
this is
rapidly, which
too
is exactly
radical.
why it did.
How?
But suffice to say that now at least every major scientist or medical researcher today who said 2 years ago that it did not believes this is the most likely origin of the pandemic, and yet most of the public, including even yourself, believes what the government told us 2 years ago. That's actual disinformation. Let me ask you another thing. Was the Hunter Biden laptop story on the eve of the last election, the 2020 presidential election? There was a lot of compromising information about Hunter Biden found on a laptop that was found about a month before the election. Was that made up or was that actually true?
Hunter Biden was prosecuted.
No, was the laptop story, was it true or false?
It doesn't matter. He was
Turns
not
out it
running
was
for
true, but you were
presidency.
told it was false. So we share with you a passion
Who
for
said it was false?
getting rid of disinformation. The way we
U.S.
do it is
intel
through free
agencies.
speech.
The,
Yeah.
the Central Intelligence Agency came out and signed a letter, 50 of them, saying that this was Russian disinformation. I lost my Twitter account because I started to share the Hunter Biden laptop during the election. 1 in 4 swing voters during the 2020 election said they would have voted differently if they knew about the Hunter Biden laptop. That's
But
our own government.
Hunter
And that's
Biden's not running
disinformation.
for presidency.
Yeah, but his dad was all throughout the laptop talking about foreign deals, Chinese cash, Ukrainian meetings, Russian deals. All that was in the laptop.
Hunter Biden was prosecuted.
Right, that's not the
Just
point.
like how Trump was prosecuted.
Right.
34
So-
felons.
Yeah, we got that. So I'm going back, though, to the laptop. Our own government came in and said that laptop was Russian disinformation. Let me ask you a question, though. Do you believe that saying that closing schools during COVID was a good thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Largely.
That is now widely accepted as being epidemiologically wrong, morally wrong.
Who?
Everything.
We got a lot of kids who are now suffering from mental health disorders. You got a lot of kids who have failed to acclimate socially, who are 2, 3, 4 years old, that grew up into that, never going to be the same again.
More importantly, should I have been able to
That's
say
not true.
during the pandemic that closing schools was wrong?
You as an individual?
And my media company.
Your media company? Probably not. But you as an individual? Sure.
So we're going to I agree on this one.
No,
We're going to agree to disagree. We
You
have a
have
different point of
Stalinist
view.
view of speech, basically.
Well, I mean,
Stalinist.
Charlie, I think we even the labels aside, if somebody believes that you should not have been able to say during the pandemic that schools should remain open, if it's your belief that a media company should not have been allowed to say that, then I think if you're voting for Kamala Harris, you are voting for the right candidate for you. I truly believe that.
Okay, sure.
She is the censorship candidate. Her belief for the world is that if Charlie Kirk
fairness.
and Elon Musk get too
So
powerful,
when Donald Trump said that people who kneel for the national anthem should go to jail, is that free speech?
well, he never said they should go to jail. He
Yes,
said
he did.
they're not patriotic. He never
And
said they
he's-
should go to jail.
yes, he did.
Again,
You can
I
look
hate.
that up.
He never said they should go to jail.
Yes, he did.
Okay, see this again. You are a victim of disinformation.
No, I'm
Let me ask you just one more question. Can men give birth?
Can men give birth
Yeah.
if they're transgender?
So again, I mean, the beauty of
That's
this
a fact.
country, no, but the beauty of this country is that she gets to have that view and vote for who she wants. And I think we have laid out here, this is a Kamala Harris voter, right? If you believe men can give birth, vote for Kamala Harris, not Donald Trump. If you believe that you should not have been allowed to say as a media company that schools should not have closed during COVID-19, that you should have been banned from saying it, absolutely Kamala Harris is your candidate, not Donald Trump.
Your
but
media,
this
your
lays
media
out this
company
lays
should
out the
not-
choice in the
Your
election.
media company should not put out disinformation.
But who? Let me just one more question. Who judges its disinformation? Who's in charge of that standard?
It depends on what it is. If we're talking about COVID, we should look for the medical scientists and doctors.
Were they wrong about anything during COVID?
Some things.
So then why should we give them unilateral authority? This is where we're different.
Well,
we believe the
this
first.
is science, not scripture. So science can be changed. Yes, that's how science works. It always evolves. We believe that the Earth was in the center of the universe.
Should a
then
media
science
company
evolved.
be allowed to say that climate change is not an existential risk to humanity?
It depends on what type of data that they're putting out.
So if a media company says the climate change agenda is made up on false premises and that, you know what, global surface temperature should be allowed to go up, should they be banned from saying it?
Should a media company say that bleach is good to drink?
They should be allowed to say
First
it.
of all, that
They
never
should be allowed
happened.
to say it.
That never happened. Never happened.
They
never
should be allowed
happened.
to say that?
And they should be allowed to say it, of course, because the First Amendment protects all speech, hate speech, disinformation, misinformation, and correct speech. You cannot police
For an individual.
and companies and individuals, LLCs.
Companies are
social
run by individuals.
Platforms. Free speech transcends all platforms all the time, and
Okay.
you cannot all of a sudden.
And I think this is useful because I do think
No,
there's a
it's-
difference in
it's
opinion.
so illuminating.
And if you have the views you do, I do think Kamala Harris is your candidate.
And the final point
And the
is
beauty of our
under,
country is we get to
under
do
your
this.
view, last thing, let's say Trump wins and becomes supreme dictator of America.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you give him the power to shut up liberal media?
What?
You believe that the experts or whatever should be able to close disinformation. If Trump were to win, why would you give him that power to shut up liberal media?
If the liberal media is wrong?
But Trump would say they're wrong, so he'll shut it up. But that's the
Is
point.
Trump an expert?
Okay, that's the point, is that at some point, that's why you should have First Amendment, because it's whoever's in charge gets to determine what is right or wrong. That is what Orwell wrote about.
When it comes to medical and scientific
The
things like that, it should be.
They
we should
were
look
wrong about
for-
everything. They were wrong about 6 feet to slow the spread. They were wrong about the vaccine, safe and effective. They were
Wait,
and they were wrong about whether the Earth revolves around the sun, by the way.
the heliocentric
They've been
theory
wrong
of
for a
Guess
long
who
time.
debunked that?
The
Other
experts,
scientists.
through
And
free
not
speech,
politicians, right?
through free speech and open debate,
Yeah,
which we need more of in the
open
country.
debate
not less.
gets you to truth, not totalitarianism. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Did I go this way?
I feel bad.
That is one of the scariest I've heard in my 12 years of doing this.
She's a victim. I mean, I'm not mad at her.
No, I mean, that's the death of the country if you just say I should be able to shut you up because
I'm not mad at her, man.
I'm not. I'm just saying it's
like,
so-
this is
it's
a victim.
bone-chilling.
This is a victim of what's going on in the
it's
country.
bone-chilling.